Hi guys, good evening, and thank you for coming one more time
Thank you.
to our meeting. This week we are going to discuss about the articles.
Yeah.
I hope you have read the article.
Yeah, we have.
And how the article is related with the Roger Gill article.
Yeah.
Okay? So Sam, can I start with you?
Definitely. Well, I'll start with Arlen's cover. Basically, in this article, like she has talked about how we should lead the change. Obviously, in innovation, we have to change. We have to change them. But how we can make sure, like, the people who are involved in change, well, they've got the skills to manage the change, and they are committed to change. So, well, obviously, it doesn't matter like how smart, energetic, or committed the leader is, but as long as he's good at delegation, that's the main role of a leader. How well he delegates his work by checking everyone's ability and all that. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how glorious your reason or how eloquent your speech is. You can't order people to adopt ideas. You can't pressurize someone to, yeah, you have to do this, you have to do that. You have to make sure that he has both ability and he's the right person for the change and all. So, what you guys think?
Yeah,
About that? Yeah.
I can link that into the Leading Change article, an interview with the CEO of Bank Investor,
Okay.
and this story of Corrado Zero, I'm not sure that's the right pronunciation, but it basically explains how he's pulled off two really successful corporate transformations as a CEO, and his first one was at Poste Italiane, which is the Italian post office, basically, and that was like failing massively in the red for, I think it was nearly half a century. And he took over, and yeah, he got rid of 10% of the staff, and basically just sort of streamlined their revenues and made sure that they were working more efficiently and got the most out of the staff. And that's sort of an example of change and how if you implement things effectively and that you get the staff on board, you can turn sort of any company around. He went on to then do that with a bank, which was Bank Investor, which is what the article is about, and he's still the CEO of that. And yeah, their share price has gone up 145% since 2002, primarily because he focused on retail with the bank and saw that they had too many sort of accounts open to the public and stuff, and too many, that he just sort of streamlined that and made sure that they just had a few accounts so that they could focus on the customer and make sure that they were offering them exactly what they wanted. And yeah, it's an example of how he's turned two fairly large companies around.
Hugo, which article did you read?
Well, actually, I read the Funky Business article, the book that they recommend us, and I find it very interesting because it gave me a quite big impression about what Funky is and all the innovative and change thing. Well, I suppose you all know what Funky means, which is the ability to change when is requested, and this has a lot to do with innovation. You know, there are like many techniques or many ways to innovate. For example, reinventing the strategy. We are in continuous change. All the society is changing. Technological advances and all of that make us reinvent our strategy every moment to adapt and not stay still. And we can accelerate, instead of change our strategy, we can accelerate the speed of action and how we develop our business. And then there is something very important, I think, is the decision of ignoring or listening to the customers. Can you remember the example of Johnson & Johnson surgery heart device that they told us in the lecture? And for example, they didn't listen to their customers, which were asking for a lower price, and they just didn't develop the device further, and happened what happened. You know, the company is almost in ruin. and I think the more obvious thing is listen to the customers and try to offer what they are asking.
And I would say one thing, sorry guys.
Yeah.
It's just I've read like Oren Harari's article, and he has discussed about 11 rules their leaders should follow. Like, and one of them is like let customers to lead, to be the leader, like to lead the change. Sorry, let the customer to lead the change. I mean, like obviously we work for them, we work for customers, so it's very important to understand what they're expecting from us. You know, what are the requirements and what they're looking from our product or service that we're giving them. And that's basically, I mean, as long as you understand your customers there and how their behavior changes, you are a good leader and you are working for that. I think that's basically the stock about in the 11 rules.
Yeah, I think that just to break it down, it makes perfect sense, because without a customer you haven't really got a business, I think, because that's exactly what your company is doing, is supplying something for the customer. And if that need changes and their want changes, then as a company you have to adapt to that as well, and be responsive to that change.
I think you in leading change, like you have to have like some skills and experience to make your employee want to like be in the changes.
Yeah.
Because you know you don't know the people reaction. They might like skip critical for a period of time, and then before they like get the changes in the organization. And also sometimes like in the large organizations, like very hard to make your employee want to change. And one of the best ways to deliver the change to them is by media, by like post in newspapers, the new structure for the organization, or even like any changes will happen. Also there's another way, which is like short books or small books for the organization, explaining what we are going to do, what we want to change for the next few years, and to make it like in a human language instead of figures and graphs. So I think again, change like depends about many things, motivation, performance, and how to like link them with the changes.
What do you think, Alberto?
I read the article about Nicolo, and he understood the problem of change. That sometimes it has a lot of difficulties and risks, is because it's involved in implementing the change. It's not necessarily poor management. It's like more like a lack of effective leadership. Change must be well managed. It must be planned and organized. Direct control is it. And change programs often fail because they are not good planning, and sometimes the person that is controlling the change is not the correct person. He's not doing the correct way. Change must be controlling and monitoring. I think what is
I would like to going back of what Hugo has said about the funky stuff. He mentioned something about accelerate something that I really didn't understand.
Sorry?
Okay, I said that I would like to going back again to the point that you said, talked about something about accelerate something.
Acceleration.
Yeah.
I was talking about the speed of change.
Exactly.
So
Speed of change.
Do you think leaders are required to manage continuously and change as many times as business need for success?
Of course.
So something like
business is in constant change requiring, so it's important to give what business needs.
Well, I would say like, the change has to be quick, conscious and public. For example, when you know the result, what's going to come out of your change, it should be done like, if it's, obviously if it's working for organization, if it's giving something good for organization, it should be like,
no, but I think also it depends of the trust between the leaders and the individuals that really get resistance to the change, and
Always.
I think the leaders
But
have to.
sometimes the change is imposed.
Exactly.
Employees,
You
it
have to
doesn't
put it-
matter the trust.
And I think you have to put it like a leader by leader, you know, like go like give like bring the changes like slowly, like continuously, like not having the change like one day and don't ask. I mean, don't explain to people why is that change for.
I could talk about another article with Yin and Yang of Leadership,
Yeah.
and that talks about continuity and change. And basically, they discuss how like sometimes you need continuity and then other times you need change. And often managers always want change because obviously it makes them look very good. And if they thought of an idea and they cause that change, then it reflects really well on them. But
Yeah.
sometimes you do just need continuity and just keep things exactly the same, just maintaining that balance and change and continuity throughout the business to succeed as a whole.
Yeah.
I think change also avoid cultural issues like between the individuals. Like leader can move from an organization from the point A to B, trying to, I mean, provide try to resolve issues for the benefit of the organization. So change
I would say one more thing, like, you know, like, leader should, you know, if there's some strategies, for example, he should, like, you know, do the assessment for every individual employee.
Pay the big
So
price.
it somehow helps, you know, employees to get motivated, as long, and he should give the feedback to them, you know, like, if they're working, give what they're lacking, and stuff like that. So, sorry guys.
That's right.
Last one. Alright. It's not it.
They're back.
So, that's basically,
Yeah,
Do you want to add something more?
well,
I think it's
I don't think so.
it's fine. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can add something more about
Yeah.
leadership.
Yep, please.
That
Tell us.
Roger Gill told us there are some new models, and they include vision, values, and culture. Also, I want to say that the change is about leadership and management.
Exactly. All depends on that.
I think
Yeah.
that the vision is really important, the same as the mission, because without the vision,
You don't know where you're going without it.
exactly, you have to like clarify to every member of the organization which is our mission and the vision, because we're gonna move all from one step to the next step, and the chain wouldn't be able without the people. So
Yeah. So,
So in conclusion,
yeah.
about what we are talking, I think that everything have observed dramatic change, which appear to be due more to inspiration in leadership.
Basically.
That's it.